Hello everyone, so today I am gonna show you how many moves I can last against the boat of PAUL MORPHY in chess, which has more than 2600 elo and is a very strong player. So let's get right into it. I'm playing this with white pieces. First I'll just to move my pawn to e4. It moved its pawn to e5. So now I should just calmly develop my knight to f3, threatening its pawn. It moved its knight to c6, defending its pawn. So now I should move my bishop to b5, attacking its knight. It moved its knight to f6. So now I should just calmly castle. It moved its knight to e4, capturing my pawn. So now I should just calmly move my rook to e1, threatening its knight. It moved its knight to d6. So now I should capture its knight with my bishop. It recaptured my bishop with its pawn. So now I should capture its pawn on e5 with my rook and check the key. It blocked the check with its bishop. So now I should move my pawn to h3, preparing a retreat square for my king to move on. It moved its king to g8, castling to the king's side. So now I should move my pawn to d4, controlling the square of c5. It moved its pawn to h6. So I should move my rook to e2, retreating it. It moved its bishop to f6. So now I should move my knight to c3. It moved its bishop to e6. So now I should move my pawn to a4, developing it. Moved its knight to f5. So now I should move my bishop to e3, developing it. It moved its bishop to c4, threatening my rook. But for that I should just calmly move my rook to e1, retreating it. It moved its rook to e8. So now I should move my queen to d2, developing it. It moved its pawn to a5. So now I should move my rook to d1. It moved its bishop to a6. So now I should move my bishop to f4, also developing it. It captured my rook with its rook, so I should recapture it. It captured my pawn on d4 with its knight. I should recapture it with my knight. It captured my knight with its queen. So now I should move my knight to e4. It captured my pawn on b2 with its queen. So now I should capture its bishop with my knight. Check. It recaptured my knight with its queen. So now I should move my rook to e4, protecting my bishop. It moved its rook to d8, threatening my queen. But for that I should just calmly capture its pawn on a5 with my queen. It moved its rook to d1, check. So I should move my king to h2. It moved its king to h7. So now I should capture its pawn on c7 with my queen. It moved its queen to g6. So I should move my rook to a3, retreating it. It moved its queen to c2, capturing my pawn. So I should just calmly capture its pawn on f7 with my queen. It moved its queen to g6, offering for a trade, which I will decline and move my queen to f8. It moved its queen to f6, again offering for a trade, which I will again decline and move my queen to b8. It moved its bishop to c4. So now I should move my rook to e8. It moved its bishop to f7. So I should move my rook to h8, check. It moved its king to g6. So I should move my pawn to a5. It moved its queen to d4. So now I should move my bishop to e3, threatening its queen. It moved its queen to d6, check. So now I have to just capture its queen with my queen and check the key. It recaptured my queen with its rook. So now I should move my Rook to b8, threatening its pawn. It moved its rook to d7, so now I should move my pawn to g4. It moved its king to f6, so now I should move my king to g3. And now my pawn to f3. It moved its king to d5, so now I should move my rook to a8, protecting my pawn. It moved its king to c4, so I should move my pawn to a6. It captured my pawn, so I should recapture it. It moved its bishop to d5, so now I should move my rook to a4, check. It moved its king to b5, so now I should move my rook to a7. It captured my rook with its rook, so I should recapture it. It moved its pawn to c5, so now I should move my king to f4, king to e3, king d2. It moved its pawn to c3 check, so I should move my king to c1. It captured my pawn on f3 with its bishop, so I should move my bishop to d4. It moved its pawn to g6, so now I should move my bishop to e3. Its pawn to h5, offering for a trade, which I will decline and move my pawn to g5. It moved its king to c4, so now I should move my bishop to f2. It moved its bishop to e4, so now I should move my bishop to e1, threatening its pawn. It moved its king to d3, so now I should move my bishop to g3, developing it in this long diagonal. It moved its bishop to f5, so now I should move my pawn to g4, protecting my pawn. It moved its king to e4, so now I should just calmly move my bishop to e1, threatening its pawn. It moved its king to d3, so I should move my king to d1. It moved its king to d4, so I should move my king to c1. It moved its bishop to e4, so I should move my king to d1, c1. And now again I should move my bishop to f2. It moved its bishop to e4, so now I should move my bishop to e1, my bishop to f2, e1, f2, e1, bishop f2, bishop to e1. It moved its pawn to c2, so now I should move my bishop to d2. It moved its king to e2, so I should move my bishop to c3, bishop to d2. It moved its king to e2, so now I should move my bishop to c3, d2, c3. So now I should move my bishop to e1. It moved its bishop to e4, so now I should move my king to d2. It moved its bishop to d3, so I should move my bishop to f2, e1. And now I should move my king to c1. And now in this position I should move my bishop to d2 check. It moved its king to e2. Now I should move my bishop to c3. Its king to d3, so I should move my bishop to e1. It moved its bishop to f5, so now I should move my bishop to d2, e1, d2, e1, d2, e1, again my bishop to d2, my bishop to e1, to d2, and now it to e1. It moved its bishop to h3, so I should move my bishop to d2. It moved its bishop to e6, so now I should move my bishop to e1, bishop to d2. Now my bishop to e1. Now still in this position I should move my bishop to d2. It moved its king to e2, so now I should move my bishop to c3. It moved its bishop to f5, so now I should move my bishop to d2, bishop to c3, it to d2, and now I should move my bishop to e1, bishop d2, check, bishop e1, bishop d2, check, and now I should move my bishop to c3, developing it. It moved its king to e3, I should move my bishop to d2, check. It moved its king to f2, I should move my bishop to c3. And now my bishop to e1, check. It moved its king to f4, so I should move my bishop to d2, check. My bishop to e1. So now I should move my king to d2, king c1, king d2, king c1, king d2. It promoted its pawn to a queen and gave me a check, so I should capture it with my king. It moved its king to e2, so I should move my bishop to d2. It moved its bishop to f5, so now I should move my bishop to c3, king d2. And now in this position I should move my king to e3, my king to f4. It moved its king to h3, so now I should move my bishop to e1. And now I should move my bishop to g3, bishop e1, bishop g3. And now I should move my king to e3, my bishop to f2, and now my bishop to e1. Now my f3, my bishop to g3. It moved its bishop to d5, check. I should move my king to f4, bishop to e1, bishop g3, bishop e1, bishop g3, bishop e1, my bishop to g3, my bishop to e1. And now I should move my bishop to f2. It moved its bishop to d7, so I should move my bishop to e1, it to f2, it to e1, bishop f2, bishop e1. And now my bishop to f2. It moved its bishop to a6, so now I should move my bishop to e1. It moved its bishop to d3, so I should move my bishop to f2, bishop e1, bishop f2, bishop e1, bishop f2, bishop e1, bishop to f2, bishop to e1, bishop to f2, it to e1, my bishop to f2, and now my bishop to e1, it to f2, e1, f2, e1, f2, e1, f2, e1, bishop to f2, my bishop to e1, It moved its bishop to b3, so I should move my bishop to f2. It moved its bishop to d1, I should move my bishop to e1. It moved its bishop to c2, so now I should just calmly move my bishop to f2, to e1, f2, e1, f2, e1, f2, e1, f2, e1, f2, bishop to e1 into f2, e1, f2, e1, and now I should capture its pawn h4 with my bishop. It moved its king to f1, so I should move my king to e5, my king to f6, and now my bishop to g3. I should move my bishop to e1. It moved its king to e2. I should move my bishop to g3, e1, bishop to f2, e1, f2, e1, f2, e1, and now I should move my bishop to d2, into e1. It moved its king to h5, which was finally a draw by repetition. So let's review the game. That is analyzing the game. So let's see which moves we made. None of us made any brilliant moves. Great moves while it made 4. I made 105 best moves while it made 117. I didn't make any mistakes, miss or blunder. Meanwhile, it made one mistake and no miss or blunder. So now for the opening, middle game and end game. In the opening, middle game and end game 1, all we did great. But for the yellow, we did 2050 and I did 2400. So now for the accuracy. For the accuracy, we both did 98.3%. So let's start the reviewing. And I will also just let you listen to the coach what it is saying, because it will give a better explanation.
A classic move. You're fighting for the center and opening up development. A simple recapture from your opponent. Next. You just snagged a free pawn. That's what I call a bargain. Let's go. That pawn was hanging out there like a piñata, ready to... That's the only move. You found it. Insane. You defended that pawn like a champ. Good stuff. You found the only move. What a find. That's the only move. You found it. Insane. That blockade's got that pawn trapped like a roach in a motel. Nice. You found the only move. What a find. Only one good move and you spotted it. Sharp like a tack. You found the only move. What a find. This is huge. That's the only move. You found the chef's kiss move. That's the only move. And you nailed it. What a find. You got a free pawn. Nice. Draw by repetition. Threefold repetition. And that's the end, folks.
So I hope that you liked the video. Just make sure to like and subscribe. Please comment how you thought the video was. And have a nice day.